Welcome to Mr. Marr History, quick summaries about a range of different historical topics. Today we're going back to the time of the First World War and we're looking at some of the weapons that were a major part of that war. We'll start off by looking at artillery. Artillery was large-scale projectiles that could be fired at the enemy from a huge distance away. This was the biggest killer of the war and was responsible for around 60% of all deaths on the Western Front. Arguably the most famous type of artillery during the war was used by the Germans and was nicknamed Big Bertha. This was artillery which was capable of firing from 6 miles away and could fire projectiles weighing more than 800 kilograms at a time. This was a significant weapon not only because of the large numbers of men that it killed, but also because it was so difficult to defend against. However, artillery did have downsides, not least the fact that at times, in terms of judging distances, it could be used to potentially kill your own men. In addition, the barrels regularly required to be replaced, and this made it a slow weapon to use. Another significant weapon as part of the war was machine guns. Machine guns were capable of firing around 400 to 600 bullets per minute, and they were usually operated by between 4 and 6 men. They were a very important weapon because they were capable not simply of killing large numbers of men in one go, but they were also relatively easy to use in terms of they required minimal aim. However, there were drawbacks with machine guns. For one thing, they were very heavy, and this made it difficult to move them around the battlefield. In addition, they would often overheat or jam, limiting their effectiveness. Another significant and famous weapon of war was tanks. Tanks were first used in the Great War at the Battle of the Somme in 1916. The first tank was nicknamed Little Willie. Tanks were an effective weapon because their metal armour meant that soldiers inside or behind them could get some cover. In addition, they could be used to drive over and break down barbed wire. However, they had numerous problems as well. For one thing, they were very slow moving, with usually a maximum speed of around 4 miles per hour. They often became stuck in the mud as well or would break down. And the heat and fumes inside meant that many tank crews went to hospital after battles. Another important and significant weapon of the war was gas. There were various types of gas used, including chlorine, tear and mustard. They had benefits as a weapon in that not only could some gas kill opponents, it could also be used to injure and disable, allowing the enemy to more easily advance. However, there was downsides as well. A change in the direction of wind could feasibly see gas going back at their own side, causing problems for their own soldiers. In addition, the development of gas masks during the war began to limit the effectiveness of gas as a weapon as well.